In this month's episode, I update you on a recent rescission from the Department of Labor regarding exemption earning threshold changes, and I spend most of the time talking about some fabulous free resources available to you on the HRM site. Let's jump in. And welcome to the June edition of HR Hot Topics. I'm your host, Jodi Schafer, and our aim is to make this the most informative 10 minutes of your month. I have one quick update for all of you today, something that has happened on the national stage, and then I want to spend the rest of our time talking about resources, because I know these videos are one of your really important resources, but there are a lot of opportunity to get access to articles and templates, toolkits, checklists, etc., that are free and on demand when you need them, and I want to make sure that you know exactly how to access all of that so that you can stay informed and be the best version of yourself that you can be. So the update that I wanted to share on the national scene is that in the middle of May, the Department of Labor officially rescinded the salary increase exemption threshold. If you recall back, for any of you that sort of follow these episodes, back in 2024, this was a Biden era push. So the Department of Labor under the Biden administration had made a move to start increasing the exemption earning threshold for somebody to be considered salary. It had long been set at 35.5 maybe, it was kind of some change, and it hadn't been touched in a long time. And so the Biden administration had instructed the Department of Labor to do a two-tier increase. And the first tier happened at the start of 2024. It was sort of unchallenged. And so it caused a lot of you to have to look at all of your salaried employees and make sure that they were earning enough under this increased earning threshold to remain salaried or exempt. And then there was a second increase that was scheduled to go into effect in July of 2024. And right about the time that was set to go into effect, the courts got involved, intervened, said, hold on, does the Department of Labor have the ability to do this? And rather than just putting the second increase on pause, they actually said, look, both of these increases that happened this year have to be on pause because we want to take a look at this. And so essentially, we've all been operating under the 2019 threshold, which is the 35.5 as the minimum earning threshold for somebody to be considered salary. Remember, there's a whole duties component for salaried employees as well, but you have to be paying them a certain amount in order to consider the duties in the first place. So in essence, we have been operating under the 2019 era rules, but this DOL regulation was still sort of out there being battled in the court. And in May, mid-May of this year, the DOL under the Trump administration formally rescinded that 2024 ruling that would have put these increases in place in the first place. So it's kind of a technicality, sort of wipes the books clean from the court's perspective here. And you might see something come through on this, and I just wanted you to know what it was. So really no change other than that minimum earning threshold for your exempt employees remains at that 2019 level. It's 35.5 and some change. So that's where that sits. So that's the one update I just wanted to bring to your attention. Now, the real bulk of the episode this month is focused on resources and how you can get access to information like that update I just gave you in your inbox in real time. Excuse me. And I want to share with you some other resources that are available to you for free on demand and really focused on what you need when you need it and how you learn best. So in order to do that, I want to share with you the HRM website. If you've not been on our website recently, take a look. It's really pretty great. And we have a lot of stuff on there for free. And so if you go to the top ribbon, there's a resources tab. And I want to just show you a couple of things here. So under this resources tab, we have lots of options for you that come from the dropdown. There are articles. So we write articles every single month, and they're Q&A style about some sort of common HR-related question that we get here at HRM. We want to make sure that all of you have the ability to learn from others who are having some of the same struggles that you might be having. And so if you go to the articles piece, you'll see all those articles. They're categorized by key topics, and you can search by keywords. So if you're looking for a specific article or how we might approach a situation, you can type in that information in the search bar. It will pull it up for you. Another set of resources are our blogs. Now, our blogs correspond to our HR Hot Topics videos. So again, these are monthly updates. It takes the video message and it essentially creates a supplemental blog with some links. So between the articles and the blogs, you can read written advice from us. And then you've got HR Hot Topics, which are the videos that we produce. So every month we put together these 10-ish minute long videos, and then we publish them on YouTube, but we also link them here to our website. And you can go back to the full archive of these. So if there is something that you feel like, gosh, I feel like Jodi talked about this before, this is an easy way to try to put your hands on it. If you're an auditory learner, then perhaps the video is going to be a better resource for you than the written articles or the written blogs. And then we have the tools section of the resources site. And this is really the most robust area of our free resources. This is where we have things like our HR mini assessment. This is a quick overview for you to take a look at all the different HR policies, workflows, processes that you might have within your organization, and do a quick assessment of how we're doing in each one of those areas. So we want to make sure that that's available to you. That's a free resource on there. We have resources around hiring. So if you're looking for interview questions, we have some sample interview questions. You can access them here for free. If you've hired someone and now you're looking to onboard them and you want a sample onboarding guide, 30, 60, 90 days, we have one of those on here. You can access that for free. As you have employees, you know you have documents, paperwork, all sorts of things, but where do you put it? And what are the file requirements? And how long do you keep some of those documents? Well, we have an employee records and retention guideline cheat sheet for you. Again, free. As you know, anytime you've got employees working for you, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And sometimes employee issues come up and you have to sit an employee down and you have to tell them something that might be difficult for them to hear and hard for you to say. We have a whole tutorial on here of how to say hard things. So a lot of really relevant, I think, items at your fingertips that are already created that you can then customize. And if you are a Michigan employer, we have created the ESTA Toolkit. Now, this was really, really important last year as ESTA came into being for all of our Michigan employers. This toolkit was referenced by a lot of our association partners and provided to their members. So this has become a really important part of that resources toolkit page as well. We've got everything from a summary document to a compliance worksheet, sample policy language, sample notifications for employees, and then of course an updated resource guide. So if ESTA is a pain point for you, we got you covered on that. And then finally on the resources page, we have our events. So if you prefer in-person learning and you want to know about some of our upcoming events, you can see the descriptions there, you can see the calendar, you can register for events. So lots of resources available to you. You can join our email list if you're not on it already, and you can get these HR Hot Topics videos delivered right to your inbox every month. But I did want to just point your attention to the website so you can see some of the work that we've done there. And we continue to add to that. You do not have to be a paying client of HRMs to access any of this. It's totally free for you. One other note on resources, and this is actually a really exciting announcement here. We do a lot of training here at HRM, a lot of leadership training and executive coaching. And one of the things that we often get asked is, how do we take what we learned in the classroom and implement it in the workplace amongst all the other priorities that we have to manage on a given day? It's hard to make it real. It's hard to kind of keep the momentum and the energy going. And it would be really great if we had some more personalized guidance to help us on that leadership journey. And we hear you and we understand. So we are building a new program called the Thriving Leader Collaborative. TLC. I should know this, right? But it's new, so we're figuring out the Thriving Leader Collaborative. And the idea here is that we are creating the ability for any leader at any level to sign up. It's a year-long program where you get weekly information from us, from me, really. I'm the one who's going to be building this. So it's going to be weekly tips and sharing of resources, which is the topic of today's video. It's going to be some homework assignments, some stretch assignments to really keep you growing and forcing you to evaluate your current behaviors, tendencies, and see if there are ways to make some improvements there. It includes access to all of our online training so that you can have, deep dives into some of the areas where maybe you want to get better. It will include quarterly live virtual webinars where I'm going to talk about a topic and then open it up for, a very robust Q&A where you can ask me anything in the moment. And the reason it's called a collaborative is because it will also link you to everybody else who's decided to be a part of this community. And the idea is to have a robust engagement amongst collective members too, so that you all can bounce ideas off each other and share resources with each other. And so it's just another way for HRM to come alongside and hold your hand. We've added a little bit of information about this new offering that's going to be coming out in 2027 on our website. So I'm going to include a QR code here for you at the bottom of this. You can click on that QR code, learn more about the Thriving Leader Collaborative. But also we're building an email list, an interest list. So if you think, maybe this is something I'd be interested in, I don't know yet, right? Or you just like to keep tabs on me and how I'm spending my time, you are welcome to join that email list, and we will share with you updates on our progress throughout the rest of this year. What some of the content's going to look like, some behind the scenes photos and footage. We might even be asking for your input on some ideas that we have. And then if you're on the list, when we launch this in 2027, you'll get access to founder member pricing. So if you decide at the end of all of that, yes, this is actually something that might be worth my investment, you'll get access to a members only discount rate. So we'd love for you to join the email list at a minimum just to see what it's about. And again, it's another example of a growing resource here that we at HRM are building. So with that, I'll leave you. Of course, if you have any questions, you can reach me directly at Jodi Schafer at workwithhrm.com, and I will see you back here in July.